Hey guys, BJ from Christie's RV. Today we're going to go through the 2015 Greywolf 26RL. We'll start right at the front. You'll notice a large storage area in here. This is also accessible from underneath the bed. So inside the master, the front there underneath the bed, you can open that up. I'll show you from the inside when we go in. There's access to the bed here, the storage area. You'll also notice on the far side, you can see the hot water tank. So there's a panel there that you can loosen the screws and move that so you can get access to it, or from under the bed you can reach it that way as well. So when it's time to drain or winterize it and you have to turn the valves, that's where you're going to access that. You have a handle here. That's the handle for your stabilizer jacks. Those are here, one on each corner of the trailer. You're going to use these to stabilize the trailer, not to level the trailer. So try to get the trailer as level as possible first, and then use these to stabilize it. Keeps that from rocking and moving. Up front you have your 12-volt battery. You also have your dual propane tank, 30-pound propane tanks. There's a crossover valve here. So what that means is there's a little arrow, whichever way it's flipped, that's the one it's pulling from. As soon as that one's empty, it'll automatically switch over to the other one. You'll see that'll go red. So I'm pointing to this tank. Once this tank's empty, that'll go red. It'll be starting to pull from this tank. You can go switch it over. It'll all light up green again. And you can disconnect this one and go get it filled and put it back on. When this one's empty, it'll automatically switch over. You also have a power tongue jack. There's a button under here, down and up. And there's also a button on the back side, a little red one here. That's for the lights. So if you're loading at nighttime, there's lights on each side. Here's the other side of the hot water tank. So you have your drain plug here. Anytime you're going to drain the tank, you want to make sure you release the pressure. There's a pressure relief valve here, or you can do the same thing by opening up one of the valves, one of the taps inside the trailer as well. There's also a button underneath here. I don't know if you can see that. There's on and off. That's for your electricity. So if you want to use, if you're plugged into AC and you want to use electric heat, you can press the on button and your hot water will be heated by electric. On the inside, I'll show you where the button is for the gas, so you can, if you have to use propane. Cable outlet. So if you're at somewhere that has cable or satellite, plug that in there. You have your outdoor shower, your handheld, hot cold water. You have a Sandy flush. So what this is here, this is your drain system. So when you have the hose connected and you have your valves open, you hook the garden hose to this, and that helps flush the tanks out. But you want to make sure you have the drain hose on first, otherwise you're gonna have a mess. So make sure that's on, make sure it's in the hole wherever you're draining it. You have your two valves here, you can open those. Black is for your toilet, the gray is for your gray water, which is your shower and your sinks. So make sure those are closed. Open this up, put your hose on, then you can open your valves, and then you can turn the water on for your tank to help flush that out. Here's your potable water tank. So if you need to take water with you, this is your holding tank for your fresh water. So you fill that up. And you also have your city water connection. So if you're somewhere that has water hookup, you hook that up there. Underneath the couch, there's also another storage area, which is accessible from under the couch or from this access door out here. In here, stored your 30 amp power cord. So that's your 30 amp power cord, and this has the twist lock system. You just match up the pins, lock it in place, and that connects right here. So you have your 30 amp plug right here. Simply line it up, lock it in, and then lock the lock ring on. Another for stabilizer jack here. There's one, like I said, in every corner. So on the back of this specific model, there's a carrying rack. So there's pins here that you pull the pin. So you got this pin here. So you pull that pin. The rack on each pin on each side, the rack will fold down. Once the rack folds down, you'll see that's the first hole. It'll fold down, then you can put that pin into this hole, and that'll lock that in place so it doesn't move. And it's extra storage. So if you have, you know, gas cans or something, you can put them outside and tie them down to that rack. You do need to put this rack down if you want to access the ladder up to the roof. So there's a ladder there as well. And all you do with this is you just lift it out of the little lock, flip it down into the pinholes there, and you're able to access up there if you have to get up there to check anything or brush the leaves off or something like that. Your spare tire holders there as well. This does have a power awning. I'll show you the button inside for that. It has an outside light here. There's also an LED strip underneath the awning. It does have outdoor speakers, and there's a mount here for the TV. You also have in here AC power. Then you also have your cable and video output, so something you're playing on the inside can be playing on the outside TV as well. You have your furnace exhaust here, so this is your intake and your exhaust. You don't want to block this at all. This needs that airflow, and it does get hot, so don't put anything in front of that. Same thing with the fridge. The fridge vent here needs proper airflow for the fridge to work properly, so don't block that as well. Don't lean nothing up against it. There's a separate door here as well. This goes into the bedroom. So the bedroom has its own entrance. Like I said, there's access underneath here for that storage area. Lots of storage up in here. And you do have an emergency exit on that side. So to use that emergency exit, all you're going to do is you're going to lift up on the red handle, pull it towards you, and push it all the way out. That'll give you access to get out in case there's an emergency. Up on the roof here, there's also a satellite hookup and AC for a TV. It does have a doorway here, and this doorway goes into the bathroom. So it gives you access to the bathroom, and I'll show you the other way in from the other door. So on your main entrance, you first walk in. So when you first walk in the door, on your right hand side, you can have all your controls here. So you have the button for your slide out, in and out. You have your awning. You do have your lights here, so you have the light switch for that accent lighting. You have this one here for your other LED strip outside. So the blue LED strip here. And then you have another blue LED strip over there. You have another one here. So this one here is for your interior lights. You have one for another one here, which would be for that outside light. And then there's another one here, and there's a front light up by the front door as well. You have your monitor panel. So this here shows you the levels of your tanks and what they're at, and your battery level. And you have your heater buttons. This heater button here is for the gas. So if you're using propane to heat your water, that's the button you want to have on so that it can run off propane. You also have your water pump. So if you have water in that holding tank, your potable water, that's your pump button. So you can utilize the pump to create pressure and have water. Left the door is your fire extinguisher. A lot of windows in this one. Nice natural light. So you have two rocker chairs, and you have the jackknife couch that flips open to a bed. And like I said, you do have access to that little storage area back there. So for the bed, this is just like a futon. You just lift it out like that. You got a bed, and then back into place for a couch. Lots of big windows. Here's your dinette. Storage underneath. This also goes down to a bed. So what you're going to do is just remove the legs. Lift the table off, remove the legs. And there's a track right here on each side. And that's where you set the table down into place. And then you just adjust the cushions, and that makes a bed for you. Here you have your TV and your stereo system. Your stereo system has USB auxiliary. It does have a DVD player built in as well. You have zone A and B, so you have your inside speakers is zone A, your outside speakers is zone B. All your connections are up here. So this is the RCAs that run from the DVD player. You have your cable for your satellite, and then your AC as well. If you're using the antenna on the ceiling, there is an antenna on the trailer. I guess there's no crank up for this one, but there's a button here to use that. So that little button there powers up that antenna for you. Sometimes if you're somewhere with the radio is kind of fuzzy as well, just check that. Sometimes if that's on, the radio will help you, you'll get a better signal in that as well. You have your thermostat here. So you have your fan, so your fan will just run circulating the air. You have cool, so if you want your air conditioning, then you have your furnace. And you have your temperatures here. Kitchen area, sink, cover on top of that, gives you more counter space. You have your microwave just like you do at home. Same thing, hood, fan, and light. And you have your stove. This one has a nice cover on top of it. Folds it away. To light the stove, you have your on and off. You just turn that to light, and it does have a sparker here. So you spark that, and the stove will light for you. Make sure your propane is on though before you do that. You also have your oven. Your oven has a button here, so you're going to turn that to pilot. You hold it in, and then you're going to light underneath. There's a spot in the back that you light with a lighter right here, a lighter or a match. And you're going to keep holding that pilot button in for about 30 seconds till the pilot stays lit, and then you can release it and then adjust your temperature. Down below the fridge is your converter. You have all your AC breakers, your DC fuses. So if something's not working, come check, make sure something didn't trip or blew a fuse. You have your CO detector here. There's a test button on it. Make sure you test that frequently. Same thing with your smoke alarm that's on the ceiling. And make sure those are always working for you. So you have your fridge. And there's a freezer in this one as well. Little locks here. These little locks hold the door open, so when you're not using it, it's unplugged. It leaves it open, that little crack, just to air it out a bit. Power button here. So what this does is this turns it on, but it will automatically select electricity first. So if you're plugged into the AC, it will select AC. If the AC is not present, it'll switch over to gas, and then it'll try to light. If it doesn't have propane, it'll go red. So that'll tell you that the propane's not turned on or it didn't light. It's just automatic. So like I said, as soon as you press it on, it'll search for electricity. If there's no AC present, it'll switch over to gas. Here's your smoke alarm. Set your indoor speakers. And then here's that bathroom. And there's that other door that leads into that front bedroom. So you have your toilet. This toilet here has the pedal style, so there's a pedal here on the side. You just step on that, and that'll, if you hold it a little bit, you get the water. If you push all the way down, you get water, and it'll open the valve to dump the toilet as well. Shower unit. A little latch here for when you're traveling so the door doesn't open. You do have a GFI plug right here. So this GFI plug does protect all the GFI plugs around the trailer. So there's one by the kitchen, the outdoor plug, by the kitchen sink and the outdoor plug. So if those aren't working, come check this, make sure it hasn't tripped. So this is the one that actually protects everything. Lots of storage. Your water pump is located behind here. There's a screw there to undo, and that gives you access back there to the water pump. And that's pretty much everything. You do want to make sure these doors are all closed before you travel and latched, because they will swing open and cause damage. Same thing with this slide. When you bring this slide in, if you notice, the slide is all the way to the edge of this here, and the chair is obviously bigger. So we want to make sure the chairs are turned sideways to give that room for that slide to come in. Just like that. Like I said, the button for that slide is right here. So as it's coming in, you'll notice it's clearing the chair. It's not going to cause any damage. So this is an in-wall slide, so this one's a little different. So the other ones, I don't know if you've had a trailer or seen other ones, when you press the button and it goes in or out, once it gets to its full extent it has like a clicking sound. This one doesn't. This one's just an in-wall motor, electric motor. So once it gets to the end, you can just, it pretty much just stops. Like it, you can hear it just, that's it, as far as it goes. And that's it. Congratulations on the new trailer. I hope you enjoy it.